SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
Roll free record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll A, fade up on A.
Southern Miss to the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, everybody. SuperTalk Eagle Hour is on the air and on the road again. We're in Laurel today. We're celebrating the Loblolly Festival, which is going to happen this Saturday, one of the biggest festivals, maybe the biggest festival in Laurel. Special coverage today of our road show sponsored by the City of Laurel, Legacy GMC in Laurel, Swamp Shack Barbecue, Cardwell Law Firm, and Johnny Wright Auctions, and we really do appreciate them. Caroline Burks is going to be joining us a little later from the Downtown Association, Alise Matthews as well, but we're going to kick off the show today from beautiful downtown Laurel with Missy Bilderback, the new women's basketball coach at Southern Miss. And, Coach, obviously you're going to take over for the first year, and we're beginning to get pretty close to basketball, so I know your girls are practicing, and this must be a pretty exciting time for you, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be on today, and 100%. We are right here, 32 days, I believe, till tip-off. So it's coming up on us quickly, and, you know, our team has worked very hard and really, pushed themselves this summer and this fall preseason. We've been in official practice a little now over a week, and so it won't be long for sure. So we're very excited and can't wait to get started.
Coach, I want you to try to describe for our listeners, if there is a big difference, what will we see different from your coaching style and the basketball team that you're going to put on the floor, and perhaps what the style of play that fans have seen over the last many years in Hattiesburg?
Well, I think one thing that will be the same is, obviously Coach Joy Lee always did a great job, Coach McNellis, of just preparing her teams, and they played very hard and were extremely well coached. And so, we're gonna work hard, prepare, and do those things at that same level. And there's always been a great talent level here, and at Southern Miss, and we've gone out and worked hard to bring a great bunch of players and people into the program. So I think the biggest thing that would maybe be different is that we will probably play a little more up-tempo. I don't think there's any right or wrong way. I think for me, that's kind of been a style we've adopted over the years. We really, love the three and shoot the three in bunches. And so, I think a little more up-tempo style. We'll be a heavy pressing team this year with the depth that we have. And so that would be probably the primary differences there.
You hear so much about recruiting and transfer portal, Coach Bilderback, and in the old days, so to speak, you would know how many sophomores, how many juniors, who you had coming back. So it was easier to recruit, knowing that you needed a three or a five, whatever the positions are in basketball. How do you go about managing recruiting when you literally don't know from year to year who's going to be back and who's not?
Yeah, that's a great question, Kelly. We're all trying. I think every coach in America right now is basketball coach, football, a lot of different sports trying to figure that out. I think the biggest thing we know there are certain kids that, we'll lose, obviously, that we'll lose eligibility based on, graduation and their eligibility running out, that we're going ahead and trying to sign in those spots. And we hope that we'll be able to be a team that's able to retain and have a good retention rate. I think the teams that are going to find success moving forward, I think that will be a key, of sustained success, is if you can retain, a target number might be 6 kids a year. If you have a core of 6 kids that understand your system, how to practice, your expectations a year, and then maybe you sprinkle in, another 7 or 8 around those guys from the portal, JUCO recruiting, high school recruiting. But, that would certainly be a goal. But and maybe in some years you get to keep your whole team and have that retention, right? But it is tricky. I mean, I think we're all still learning as we go with all the different changes. But, working hard to recruit our current players first. And, sometimes that works. Sometimes they have a great year. They have an opportunity out in the portal that may be too good to turn down. But at the end of the day, we hope they have a great experience here at Southern Miss, and they want to stay a Golden Eagle and, love Hattiesburg and love their experience here at the university. And we hope that can keep them hanging around.
So much of basketball now is played below the rim, but for anybody that doesn't think Southern Miss can go out and get SEC talent, Missy Bilderback did that. You brought in a young woman from Auburn who's going to give you you hope, a strong, presence inside, which is an important factor in basketball. Tell us about her and some of the other young ladies you're counting on this coming season.
Yeah, absolutely. T has been someone that has gradually, just every week, we feel like she's getting better and better. She's obviously got a lot of attributes that we're excited about. Being 6'5", she's got about a 6'7" wingspan when she really spreads out. She's a fairly tough, physical kid. Just still trying to get her in game shape. Trying to get her ready there.
Right.
But she's someone that we feel like that kind of addressed the need from a year ago when we were in the Sun Belt. I felt like we just really needed a big, to be able to compete at the level we wanted to, and at a championship type level, we needed somebody that could match the size on other rosters and different things. We've got quite a few Power 4 transfers. At one point, Sakiah White played at Florida State. You've got Melanie Timms that played at Mississippi State. Carly Keats at Arkansas, Jacayla Johnson at, Auburn. And then, I think Haley Breland had a chance, she chose us over, some Power 4 programs. When she went in the portal, she played at Charlotte last year. So there's multiple kids on the roster that have that experience for sure. But there's also a lot of kids, we're really excited about Morgan Sieper staying around. And, she shot the ball great. I think style of play fits her really well. Got the green light to let it fly and shoot it, and Morgan's shooting the ball at a really high clip right now. And really excited about our freshmen. Mooney from Monroe, Louisiana. We've got a chance to know Mooney pretty well over the years and watch her through her high school career. And I think she's a uniquely special freshman that we're expecting big things out of. Bracayla Gray brings that toughness every day that you go get rebounds, toughness, grittiness. And, there's just so many kids. I really feel confident. I made the statement today, all 13 of them, I feel confident in playing. We've got some playing time rotations to kind of shake out over the next few weeks. That will shake out a bit more as we scrimmage and do some other things. But at the end of the day, I really do love all 13 and think they're all special players and great people, and just really love our roster this year for sure.
And, Bob, you might as well be the president of the Morgan Siever fan club, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's a great player and a great kid. And you should like her because her favorite athlete of all time is Tom Brady and the Gronk. And she told me that they would be her favorite players no matter what team they played
her
for,
stock
Coach.
just went down in my mind.
All right, Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot here now. All the Southern Miss fans watched you and your great success that you had at Monroe and other places you've been, and now you're here. There's a lot of excitement. There is a lot of expectation, Coach. How do you embrace that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to be anywhere where there's not great things expected. Who wants to be somewhere where you're not in a position to have those opportunities to be successful? And, I really thought long and hard and prayed a lot when we made this decision to come home and come to Southern Miss. Obviously, I'm taking over a program in great shape from, there's been a lot of great coaches that obviously Coach K, we've been fortunate to have her still come around. I think she's been at practice weekly, Coach K. James. I ran into Coach Reeves this summer out recruiting, and then obviously late Coach Joy Lee McNellis, so there's an extremely great tradition here already. But I'm a competitive person, and I want to, put us in a position to compete every year for a championship. That's my goal, and have an opportunity to get this program to an NCAA tournament. And so I understand by me saying those things, that even puts more pressure. I'm not saying, hey, it's year one, give me time. We want to win now. There's no secret about it. Now, it's not an easy league. You got to play every night to win in this league. We've got a really tough non-conference that should prepare us for league play, and that's the goal. Obviously, Coach speaks things that are very true. We got to stay healthy. We've got some special players that we need out there, and we need to stay healthy. But I'm excited about it. Being in the league the last 2 years, I feel like I have a pretty good guide of what to expect. And, I think the team will buy into being a team, and this talent will play together with a goal to win a championship, which is my job to get them there. I think we've got a great shot of being there in the end and having an opportunity to do that. Now, a lot of things have to go right, but, man, it feels good to be able to say, I think this team could have an opportunity, right? And so we're excited about it, not going to back down from it, and, we're going to continue to work to try to get it done.
All right, real quick, as we're out of time, but who do you think's happier, Southern Miss people having you here or Columbia people having your husband coach the football team again?
Hey, or my son playing football at Columbia this year. They're having a great
season. We go.
And, hey, I hope, whoever is happy, come out. Y'all buy season tickets, come out, watch us play. It's going to be a fun team. I guarantee if you come watch us once, you'll come back. I guarantee you that. So,
all right, Coach. Thanks very much for being on the show. Thank you very much,
thank
Coach.
you. Okay.
Coach Missy Bilderback, everybody. When we come back, we're going to hear about the great Loblolly Festival. SuperTalk Eagle Hour live in downtown Laurel. Stay with us.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Hey, Southern Miss fans, TrustCare Health is proud to support the Golden Eagles and help keep our community in top shape, whether you're cheering at the Rock or the Peak. TrustCare has your back with convenient walk-in clinics and top-notch care for your urgent, primary, and kids' care needs. From game day injuries to everyday health needs, TrustCare is your go-to team. Visit us in Hattiesburg and Laurel, and let's keep the spirit of Southern Miss soaring to the top. Visit TrustCareHealth.com for more details. TrustCare Health. Feel better faster.
Southern Miss to the top. To the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, everybody, welcome back. SuperTalk Eagle Hour is on the road. Loblolly Festival taking place in downtown Laurel. Special coverage today, sponsored by the City of Laurel, Legacy GMC in Laurel, Swamp Shack Barbecue, Caldwell Law Firm, and Johnny Wright Auctions. Happy to have Caroline Burks back on the SuperTalk Eagle Hour. She's the executive director of Laurel Main Street, right? And Alise Matthews, who is the event coordinator.
That's correct.
So, needless to say, you two ladies pretty busy right now, right?
Very. Running from one end of downtown to the other.
Now, you just told us you had just come directly here from doing what?
I was actually helping set up for my daughter's school's fall festival. So
like another job.
Yes.
Like you needed one right now, right?
Yeah, it's a busy weekend.
All right, Caroline, we asked Ben this the other day. What is a loblolly?
It is a type of pine tree, and it is specifically the type of pine tree that is common in our area. So you recognize them because they're like the longer, skinnier pine cones. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That's what's prolific around here. So that's what they named the festival after.
Tell us the genesis of the Loblolly Festival, and then I understand it is the biggest event of the year here in Laurel.
It is. So it actually started as the Main Street Festival years and years and years ago, 20-plus years ago, and it was run by the city. And they decided, when Main Street formed in 2007, 2008, they handed it over to Main Street, and it became the Loblolly Festival, because we don't name things after ourselves because we don't actually have a main street in downtown Laurel. We have Central Avenue, we have Oak, we have Magnolia, we have everything else, but no main street.
Isn't that weird? Maybe you should change that, huh?
I'll do a lot of things, but I'm not taking on renaming a street.
I got you. And I'm sure you're happy that there's construction taking place downtown.
No comment. No.
If it was television, you'd see her biting her lip.
Yeah. It's going to be great though because it's going to look like the other end of Central Avenue and be fantastic.
Well, you must have something going on here because we ate earlier today and talking to some people walking around the streets, we're going, what are you here for? And the Aaron and Ben thing with a lot of, but we're here for the Loblolly Festival. Some people from New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm going, this is Thursday. The festival isn't until later on. So obviously it's a huge draw.
It is. We average around 20,000 people every year. Like if the year that it rained, I think we had around 17,000. We've been as high as 25,000 before. So, it is. We track events across the city. We have a way to do that, and the Loblolly Festival is the biggest event in the city, the biggest single day event in the city of Laurel. It's us, the Sertoma Club Christmas Parade, and then the first Saturday of the fair, traditionally.
Weather good this weekend?
Supposed to be.
Okay. Alise Matthews is the event coordinator. So what does that do? What does that entail?
Well, I'm very new to the job. I was just hired like 2 weeks ago, so there's no better way to learn it all than jump in right at the biggest one. But I have had a business downtown for 8 years, so I'm kind of very familiar with downtown and the festivals. But I'm going to be the person who handles permits, coordination, vendors. If you got a question, call me, ask. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out the answer. But just the one, that point of contact to make sure everything is going smoothly the day of.
All right, what would you like for people to know about the event in case they're thinking about coming?
Don't be deterred that every street downtown is going to be shut down. So I think that's the biggest thing. People get down here and they're like, oh my gosh, where am I going to park? You're going to have to park in one of the church parking lots or the outer parking lots. But once you step into our downtown footprint, we are going to have vendors on every street in downtown.
And did somebody tell me that upwards of 300 vendors?
I looked this morning, 322 vendors is what we have
Good
registered
gracious.
for this weekend.
Where do you put all of them?
Everywhere. Yeah. We just find a spot.
And how do you guys, because vendors, lots of them need electricity for whatever they've got going. How in the world do you coordinate electricity for 322 vendors?
We pray real hard.
And we have great support by the city.
Yes. I met with the electrician yesterday, and, the way that our streets are laid out, there are pockets where they can pull, and, our street lamps have plugs in them, but not everybody needs electricity, and most of our food vendors run on generators, so it's not a huge... not everybody needs it, thankfully, because I think we would shut the grid down if that were the case. But yeah, it's a lot of extension cords.
How do you find these vendors, or do they find you? 300 is a lot.
They hunt us down.
They do.
Do they really?
Vendor applications went live July 1st, and people are sitting there waiting.
July 1st of last year.
Of 2025.
This year.
Yes,
okay.
And they are sitting there and midnight. They are ready to fill out that application
Really?
And make sure, because the earlier you submit your application, you get to pick your booth spot. So there's a benefit to
Makes
registering
sense.
Early, because then you can pick exactly where you want to be in the downtown footprint. So
I'm wondering too, if they parked at Sawmill Square Mall or something, are there shuttle services that bring people? That'd be really cool if somehow that could be swung.
We would love for somebody to take that on. I have been told that our insurance and liability, we're not taking that on, but if there is an entrepreneur out there that wants to do that, get after it.
That could be a heck of a business.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Well, and the great thing is, where the mall is located, we do have some businesses that are part of our main street that are at the warehouse district and also on Short 7th. So stop there, see those businesses, walk 2 blocks over, and you're going to be running right into music and vendors on Central Avenue.
I talked to Lisa Cochran from the Remnant earlier, and they're having their warehouse sale this weekend. So there is something to see everywhere.
Oh, well, these merchants love this.
Oh, yeah.
As two of them, yes.
As two of
yes,
them,
we
we
do.
agree.
Yeah.
I tell everybody that Loblolly is my biggest single day at Shug's aside from Valentine's Day. That this is my biggest day of the year.
What do you sell?
Cookies and sweets. And,
you're talking my language.
Yes, yes.
Diabetic friendly, right?
You know, when you come in, something about, I just tell everybody it's all sugar free. I mean,
Yeah, there we
calories
go.
don't count at Shug's.
The way I look at
That's
stuff
my
when I
motto.
want something sweet, yeah. Caroline, I'm going to ask you this question. Of course, I'm here a lot. A guy like Kelly comes over with me on occasion, and he's kind of mesmerized by all the people. I guess I've kind of gotten used to it. Are you surprised at how much continues to feed off of this TV program?
I mean, yes and no. Just because I've come to realize, in talking to my counterparts across the state and across the country, and then knowing the folks from the show, the show is compelling because community has died across a lot of the country.
Yeah.
And I say that like people don't know their neighbors. They don't have, people talk about a third place. Like you go to work, you go home, but you don't have a place that's like your third place to hang out. And so I think that people watch the show and feel such a connection to it because our community here is real. You'll hear a lot of naysayers. Oh, that's all for TV. It's not. I mean, you get out what you put in, as with anything. But our community here is so wonderful because we have so many passionate people that pour into it. And I think people come here to get a piece of that.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that I like about Laurel, and you two are perfect examples of a lot of the businesses in Laurel continue to be locally owned,
yeah.
locally operated. You put money back into the community.
So important.
Sponsoring softball teams and yearbook ads and all those kinds of and I affectionately use the term Mayberry, like the Andy Griffith Show, where everybody owns a business, you all know each other, and it is a slice of Americana that has gone the way of the buffalo.
Yeah, and I think also you'll find that a lot of us grew up here. I mean, it's people who were born and raised and from Laurel who, instead of choosing to go off and do something different, we came back because we loved it here. Growing up, I mean, the only reason we came downtown was I had dance classes at the Y, but it was a ghost town when we were little. There was a coffee shop where the Night Butcher is, and Cafe La Fleur was like the only thing down here. But, I mean, it really was. And so when you fall in love with a place and you really are invested, like you want to come back and you want to make it better for the next generation.
When did that turn, though? When did downtown begin to reawaken?
I feel like Main Street was kind of the turning point because the folks that you see on the show were some of the first folks involved in Main Street, with lots of others. But the format of Main Street and the way that Main Street works gave them kind of a framework to start making changes that made people want to be down here. And having the Main Street Festival turned Loblolly Festival and all of these events, Chili Cook-Off, I think we're in our 15th year of it. It started giving reason for people to come down here, and then it started giving reason for people to want to invest down here. And so it is, as Jim always tells me, it takes 10 years to make an overnight success, but that is what the show has done because it has taken a lot of work up to this point that people have put in their blood, sweat, and tears that you don't really see, and turned that tide, and now you see this huge boom.
Well, ladies, I'm going to tell you, there is no town in the state of Mississippi that does it like y'all have. And I'd be shocked if you told me other towns don't ask you how you've done it. Have they, real quickly?
Sometimes, yes. We've gotten some questions. We met with somebody yesterday.
You've really done an unbelievable job with downtown, and you should both be very proud of what you've accomplished.
And if you get weather like this on Saturday, y'all, you may set an attendance record.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for your return engagement on the Eagle Hour.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be back. More from downtown Laurel. Super Talk Eagle Hour on the road. Stay with us.
The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
All right, everybody, welcome back. SuperTalk Eagle Hour in Laurel, getting ready for the Loblolly Festival this Saturday. I want to thank Caroline Burks and Alise Matthews for joining us. Kind of filled us in. It sounds like a great weekend to me, Kelly Center. It'd be a great place to take a family for this.
And I'm telling you, we're sitting here next to the Arabian Theater, next to where the hotel used to be, in the canopy, and a nice breeze coming through here. No humidity. I'm telling you, man, if it's like this on Saturday, holy cow, are they going to have a crowd? Yeah,
Laurel, downtown Laurel, really, really cool place. In large part because of people like Caroline Burke and all the work that they do, and we really do appreciate her coming on the show with us every year when we're here. Carter Hankins is the offensive coordinator at Southwest Community College, former quarterback for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Mike Frazier normally joins us on Thursday to talk a little JUCO football, but he was unavailable to get us today, and who better to talk to than Carter Hankins. And Carter, first of all, welcome to the show. We talked to Mike Frazier, who's really knowledgeable about Mississippi junior college football every Thursday, and he's always talking about what an elite league it is, and he says that Kansas, Texas, and Mississippi have the best junior college football in the state. Your thoughts now that you're in the middle of it? Just how tough is it every Thursday in Mississippi junior college ranks, Coach?
Well, thank you for having me on. But it is, I think it personally, I played in the league, and I think it's the best league in the country. I mean, the type of talent that every team has, I mean, it's very comparable to, playing honestly in the SEC. I mean, you've got to face the best of the best every single week. And you've got to be on your A game every single week, because every single squad that you're going to play is going to be really good. They're going to be well coached. And, the thing is with these kids, man, is they're trying to get out. They're trying to put it on the tape and on the film to get out. And they've only got 9 games to do that. So, the recruiting season is hard right now for the Division I's. They're all on their bye weeks, and they're coming in and talking to all our guys. So it's a very special league with a whole lot of talent. So,
Hank, I want to ask you a little bit about your situation at Southwest, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, but not too far in the past, Southwest was kind of the punchline of every joke. Just wasn't very competitive football-wise. You were up at Holmes, Bob Getty's alma mater, and had great success as the OC up there. Then you get the call to come down to Southwest. I want take us through the decision-making process. You had a good gig at Holmes, but yet decided to go to Southwest. And honestly, Southwest, you guys got it going on right now. So what has happened, and what led you to take that job other than to stay at Holmes?
Yeah, so actually, I was just the quarterbacks coach at Holmes last year.
Okay. Okay.
So it was a deal, getting closer to home for me. I had planned on getting engaged, and I kind of knew that was the next step. So it was good to get close to family, and it was a chance to call plays. I've always wanted the opportunity to call plays, and even though I'm a young guy, man, it was a place where I came with Coach George, who was our offensive line coach at Holmes. We had, every day we had talked about some stuff, that we would do if we ever got the chance to call it or do it together and all that stuff. So it was really good for me to come call plays, and what better place, to get a place going like here. We've been very successful so far. We're 2-3, so it's not the best, but we've had a chance. We had Gulf Coast on the ropes a few weeks ago. We had the lead in the third quarter and just couldn't finish the game. So everything's moving in the right direction. Our kids are playing hard. Right. They're buying into the culture. We just got to keep our foot on the gas, and finish this season out strong.
Now, Coach, the truth is you left Holmes because of the nightlife down in Goodman. Isn't that right? It was very tempting every night.
Yeah, there was so much to do in Goodman. I had to get out of there so I wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah, the Sonic, I think, in Goodman was, I think they even have one. I don't even know.
Looking back at my lifetime there, it was amazing how much trouble I got into in Goodman. But that's another subject for another show.
Carter, earlier in the show, we had Missy Bilderback on the program, and, of course, she's the daughter of the great Coach Perry Wheat.
Yes, sir.
Your dad has a great coaching history. Brad Hankins, the head coach now at Purvis High School. How much of Brad Hankins is there in Carter Hankins, and how much do you guys talk football shop when you're together?
Well, you know, he's my best friend. We talk every day, you know, about, honestly, it becomes now during football season, it's nothing but football. So it's a deal, you know, I'll call him and bounce suggestions off of him, and he'll do the same. And, you know, that's kind of, I was lucky enough and fortunate enough, I kind of grew up in a locker room. So, you know, I've loved every bit of growing up as a coach's kid. And, you know, now it's kind of cool to take another step. And, you know, Dad's kind of probably on his way out as a coach. He's been in it for so long, and now I'm, you know, just getting started and getting my feet wet with everything. So, you know, it's been awesome. It really has been awesome. And I get the chance to go recruit and watch his games on Friday night, so it's been really cool.
And you get to see a rejuvenated Southern Miss team now. It appears that regardless of what happens the rest of the way, this is clearly a better team than has been fielded the last 2 or 3 years. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I haven't met Coach Huff yet. You know, I was at the game last weekend. I know they're freaking getting after it, man. They're having a good year so far. And I worked with Barney Farah last year at Holmes, you know, who is at Southern now, is recruiting or player personnel. I'm not real sure what his title is, but I know how hard Barney works and how good he is at his job at recruiting and getting guys in. So I think this is just the beginning of something special for the next few years to come, too, for those guys.
All right, what's up for your squad tonight, Coach?
We are off. We have a bye week.
Okay. So what does a coach do in a bye week? I mean, do you like fly to Mexico for the week, or do you work on the week that you're going to be back?
So this week, you know, we've taken full advantage of it, especially for our guys getting back healthy. We've had some really good practices. We got one more today where we're going to get after it. You know, and we're looking ahead. We got Northwest next week on the road. They're a really good squad. And then we've got Hines the next week, who is, you know, conference play for us. So we've got 2 really tough opponents back-to-back weeks. So I've been diving into those guys. We've been diving into them as a staff. So just trying to get ready for Northwest and Hines, and, you know, have a few extra days game planning wise before we hit at it next Sunday, getting ready for the week. So.
All right, Coach. Well, we're sure glad you spent some of your off week with us. It's good talking to you, and we always like talking to former Southern Miss guys and that are doing well now.
And if you think he got in trouble in Goodman, now he's down in Summit where they've got a Walmart.
Oh, man. Now, Coach, you behave yourself down there.
I'm telling you, I'm trying my best.
All right, Coach. Thanks very much for your time, sir. Great talking to you.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day. Greatly appreciate y'all.
All right, Carter Hankins, everybody, who is the OC now at Southwest Community College. That must be something to look forward to. You get an extra week to go play Northwest at their place, right?
Yeah, Northwest and Gulf Coast, they've got it figured out, at least when it comes to football. Now, in other sports, maybe not so much. But particularly, and I'm not taking anything away from the other programs, I'm just saying that they've been kings of the football heap for a long, long time, and Gulf Coast continues to be. But that's South Division with Gulf Coast, Jones, which is right down the road here in Ellisville. Really, the only team that hasn't been especially competitive this year are East Central and Pearl River in the South Division. But they've still got to play. Hines and Colin is another team that's really good.
I didn't want to ask him. I don't want to put him on the spot, but did you have a chance to ask him if he polishes that statue of me there in the end zone when he's coming off and on the field? Are they still taking good care of that?
Actually, I think he didn't mention it specifically, but he mentioned about a garage sale that they got a bust. They got $1.25 for a bust trophy.
Well, somebody got screwed.
The $1.25 Bob Getty bronze trophy.
Somebody got screwed bad if they paid $1.25 for that.
Bob was so proud of that gold trophy that he had it bronzed.
Yeah. Hey, while we've got just a minute or two, I'm not sure how long is left of the segment. I want to thank all of our normal sponsors, of course, for all they do for the program. We're on the road here today in Laurel covering the Loblolly Festival. And that, of course, puts us in the territory of the Ben Winpickler Show. And can you believe he's sitting here with us?
Now, we're completely in the shade, but he has a pair of sunglasses on.
Correct, and his assistant just left. Yeah.
You know that old sign. I wear my sunglasses at night. Well, I wear my sunglasses inside and at night because I get so much recognition. I just kind of have to keep it concealed.
Well, he does. To be fair, he is the host of the highest-rated program from 1:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. on local radio
got them
stations.
sunglasses on 24/7. Kind of got that Steve Azar look.
That's
going.
right. That's right.
Never take them off.
That's right.
And who sang that song? I wear my sunglasses at night. You remember?
I don't know that one.
Corey Hart. For music fans would know that. Corey Hart from Canada.
How would you know that?
I just am a big music fan. This music is not
I know
Corey
this
Hart.
one. This is Hold On Loosely.
Okay, bye.
Call 45.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Just had to go back a few more years. You would have gotten it.
We're in downtown Laurel. Loblolly Festival's just a couple days away. You need to come attend. We'll wrap it up next.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Hey, Southern Miss fans, TrustCare Health is proud to support the Golden Eagles and help keep our community in top shape, whether you're cheering at the Rock or the Peak. TrustCare has your back with convenient walk-in clinics and top-notch care for your urgent, primary, and kids' care needs. From game day injuries to everyday health needs, TrustCare is your go-to team. Visit us in Hattiesburg and Laurel, and let's keep the spirit of Southern Miss soaring to the top. Visit TrustCareHealth.com for more details. TrustCare Health. Feel better faster.
You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour. The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
Hey, great show today. I want to thank Missy Bilderback for joining us, along with Carter Hankins and Caroline Burks and Alise Matthews. Is that enough guests for 1 hour show, Senator?
And I want to go back to the Missy Bilderback interview. You know, Bob, you talked about the expectations, and you do hear a little bit of buzz on the street about the talent that has been accumulated for women's basketball. And she acknowledged it's one thing to have the talent, but you got to be able to put it together, and you have to be able to execute. But you do hear a palpable buzz about the women's team. In fact, when you look at season ticket sales, compared to, say, the last 5 years, and if memory serves, I think they were only, a couple of days ago, they were only like 20 season ticket sales away from having the highest season ticket sales that they've had in the last 5 to 10 years.
So that tells you.
Yeah, so there are people that are interested very much in this women's team and what she's been able to put together.
And speaking of basketball, Jay Ladner joins us tomorrow. We'll do a couple of segments with Coach Ladner. Kind of hard to do one segment with Coach Ladner. He'll fill too easily for us, and he's got a lot to talk about because, like the women's team, Kelly, it's a brand new team,
and a lot of new guys. I mean, there might be 2 or 3 guys left over.
That's really such a shame.
I
don't want to go back down that road again, but it's hard to get attached to your team the way you could do in our day, because you watch Kid A come in as a freshman, you see him better as a junior, a sophomore, and then a junior, and now how rare is that?
And this is why a lot of junior college coaches are getting looks from D2 schools and D1 schools as far as head coaching positions go, because essentially that's what junior colleges have done forever. The most they were ever going to have a player is for 2 years. So they know all about the ins and outs of recruiting for one year at a time. Like we were talking with Coach Bilderback earlier. You'd have your roster, and you'd know that next year you'd be losing two seniors. You'd have 3 or 4 juniors that would be elevated. Well, you don't know any of that anymore. So how can you plan for what type of team you're going to have when you have no clue who's even going to be
well,
back.
I just think, I'm not making excuses for him, and he doesn't need me to, but you look at what Jay Ladner's dealt with since he got here. COVID hit him. Nothing's been improved in the basketball facility that anybody can tell, and he's had a wholesale turnover of roster every single year. I don't know how you judge a coach based in those circumstances.
Well, and then the health issues.
Then he had a heart attack.
You know?
Yeah.
And as if those circumstances that you didn't just mention may have contributed to
So how do you fairly judge Jay Ladner?
I don't know. That's for somebody.
That's a Jeremy McClain question.
It is a Jeremy. But to be fair, that's a question for every athletic director, because that's the new landscape of basketball now.
Of course.
And I don't know how they do it. And as we mentioned, Bruce Pearl at Auburn decided to go to the house a couple of weeks, before the season. They just
great coach.
Are done with it.
Great
coach. Don't want to have to go down that recruiting road all the time.
All right, Ben Windpiggler's here with us. What couple of minutes we got left? You're from Laurel, Ben. Put in perspective how big this Loblolly deal is, and what would you say to people? What would you say to people who may consider coming over here Saturday?
Well, I'll tell you, Bob. One thing that I talk about a lot on the show that y'all commonly refer to as the Ben Windpiggler Show.
Mm-hmm. And when would that air, Ben?
Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Just in case you're wondering.
If you ever have a question, he's got two assistants now.
Two assistants.
You can call one of them.
Yes, one of the two. They'll get you.
Speaking of Ben, now that's the same chair that Caroline was sitting in. Does it remind you of the old play, Beauty
and the Beast?
Yes. But go ahead, Ben.
Anyway, so one thing that I tell people all the time is this. I think downtown Laurel has gotten a bad rep for being just for tourism. We do have a lot of people who come here because of the show and tour from, like we talked to the couple from New Orleans. I've talked to a couple from Canada, Germany, all the way around. And I think that that's fantastic, but that is not the goal of downtown Laurel and Laurel Main Street. The goal is to bring it together, as Caroline said, like a community. So I say a bad rep because sometimes, like she said, you do get people who are from this area who are like, hey, no, this is just a show. It's really not. Like she said, you get what you put into it. But I would say to the people who are listening, who most of the people around here are what I would consider local, within an hour or so driving, come here and see why we think it's so special, why we know it's so special, because it really is a special place. And why would you not want your community to thrive?
At what time does Big Bunny take the stage Saturday?
No,
Bad
Bunny. Bad Bunny will be on from 3 to 4 p.m.
See, because I think a cross-dressing bearded guy is going to be big here in Jones County.
Oh,
don't you,
yes,
Kelly?
Yes.
Bob, you just keep digging that hole deeper, don't you?
You and Deshaun are going to be best friends by the end of the show.
Don't bring it. Don't bring it there.
He's got to get a bigger shovel for Bob Getty as he continues to dig that hole deeper.
Do you know my biggest fan? You do. Well, let's move on.
I do. I know all the Eagle Post Warriors.
Okay. They love me.
They do.
I know. If they mention that to you frequently,
yeah,
don't they?
They love us. Come to downtown.
We love them,
yeah.
And we thank them for listening to the show. We do.
By the way, Ben's show is on 99.3 WLAU.
It's a Ben Windpiggler Hour.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
On
the
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
I'm going to get one of those caricatures of my head.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 9.
WLAU 99.
Just look for the crowd out front, looking in the window.
The paparazzi.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us over here, Ben.
Absolutely.
That wraps up this coverage from the Laurel Loblolly Festival. We hope everyone will come have a great time. We think it's just a great place and a great place to be. All right, back in the studio tomorrow with Jay Ladner. Until then, Southern Miss.
To the top.
To the sea. Fly like an eagle. Let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free.
Waiting. You do it at grocery stores, in traffic, and at the doctor's office. But what if you could skip the wait altogether? Introducing Trust Care Plus, a healthcare membership that makes feeling better even faster. Skip the waiting room and enjoy priority access at any Trust Care clinic. Sick kid? Text your care crew day or night. Get discounts on prescriptions and so much more. Wait no more. Feeling better just got a whole lot faster. Join Trust Care Plus today. Plans start from just $15 a month. Learn more at trustcarehealth.com/plus.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.